Hi everybody. I just want to talk to you today about how I woke up today, no headache, no heartburn, no joint pain everywhere, and tons better sleep. Now, I guess I could call this sort of a video diary because I am going back into just reliving or explaining what has been happening. And I'm going to say, since Thanksgiving, of course, it's a holiday, and we try to make it fun. We try to be off our routine a little bit so we can have more fun. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but I'm going to say today, it's Wednesday, I finally feel like I got a handle on this. What's happening right now to put this extra stress in my life? I don't know. Maybe it's the same stress you're dealing with, trying to figure out how to function every day and not let everything get to you. Now, there's a challenge. So, headache in the morning, heartburn in the morning, and these are wild symptoms that don't seem to have any connection to changes in my habits. However, I do admit there were some changes going on, and the stress level, that mental stress level, puts that amplification on it. You cannot be in autopilot because something's going to give. Last week I said, first of all, I've had enough. Where did I let it all go? What did I do to let it go by the wayside? Meaning, what haven't I been paying attention to? What occupied my time? What occupied my days that gave me these annoying symptoms of brain drain? And you know what they are if you've watched my other videos. What are the annoying symptoms of brain drain, or just the annoying symptoms that you tolerate that indicate you've got an impaired brain? And we don't want an impaired brain. We need your full participation in the world, and you cannot do that if your brain is preoccupied with other things and you're not at homeostasis, you're not feeling balanced, you're not feeling energized. So what did I do? Because this was subtle. I knew I was going to kind of lose my mind a little bit on Thanksgiving. You know, there's some fun foods. I wanted to try the dressing. I wanted to eat a little more potato. So I went the carbs kind of went by the wayside. I did want a little bit of dessert, and I wanted to have a little bit of pie. So that affects me very easily, very quickly. So I did some changing around to get back to my routine. It's subtle. It sneaks up on you. Is this resonating with you? So these are my confessions here. What did I do the end of last week? I added Livoplex to my supplement routine. I was still taking the Mintran. I also added some Paraplex. And you can look these up on Standard Process on their website and see the different nutrients that are helpful for the digestive system, for the nervous system, getting you back into balance. Because when you're stressed, you burn through your nutrients so fast. If you're in that fight or flight, you are just using everything up. And that's why you feel crappy. You feel crummy. What else did I do? I said that already. I got back on the better foods. Very important. And we had a lot of turkey, so I needed to get back on red meat. So I did that on the weekend. The sleeping part, yeah, I did stay up. I was a little sneaky, like a teenager, staying up later than I should, and I got that back into balance. So those are some things that you can do if you figure out where you kind of got a little bit lazy and said, oh, it's a holiday. But also, what's going on? Are you watching the news, listening to the news, talking about the news with your friends? Some people say, did you hear, blah, 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 this is getting worse, and so many people are in the hospital, and just remember, the news is chosen. The worst of the worst makes it on the news. So I had to take a step back and calm down my nervous system. This may be the one that's the hardest to do, but you've got to do all of it to get that balance back. You cannot leave one area hanging. When I say move your brain, feed your brain, talk to your brain, the talking to your brain part is crucial. And so I would say I was probably in a fight or flight state, and this is my Sense Tele-Health manual. So when you come to me for some sessions, some telehealth coaching sessions, I'm going to whip out this book and go through the 4 functional levels of the nervous system and help you discern where you need a little bit of help, which level can you change things in. And I've got a little list of fight or flight, and I can go down my list and say, what is noticeable? Yeah, that's noticeable. That's noticeable. That's noticeable. That's noticeable. And I needed to get that fight or flight under control. And there's a lot of hands-on, low-tech things you can do, and I teach that to people. Remember, you've already got the tools. You are born with a lot of these tools. I teach people how to be more proficient with those tools. Now, let me go back to the article that David Hanscom wrote in Psychology Today. It's back in another video. You can look it up. And let me just reread an important sentence here. One of the primary reactions to anxiety is control. And you can feel anxious when you are feeling you don't have the best control of your situation. And if you are listening to the news, you are feeling out of control. And once the threat is resolved, the body chemistry normalizes. If you don't feel like the threat is resolved, you're going to still feel stressed. You're going to feel like you're under the gun. You're going to feel like you're walking on eggshells. You're going to have those nights where you cannot sleep. You're so wound up. You've got that hyperactive energy, because that's what fight or flight does. It keeps you alert, so you can't have sleep. Sleep is on the snooze buttons. There's a pun. Sorry, didn't plan that. But when your sleep goes by the wayside due to that fight or flight response, that's a biggie right there. What happens when the real or perceived threat persists and we feel trapped? This, of course, causes the secretion of even more hormones and the feeling of being angry. So David Hanscom has this triad. I call it a triad. Maybe he does. I don't know. Anxiety, anger, and adrenaline. And the adrenaline affects every area of your body because it's in your blood flow. It's in your circulation. Every organ is going to be touched by this amplified fight or flight survival response. We can have that shift of blood supply. It's rerouted. It goes away from the prefrontal cortex, so you have trouble making decisions and discerning, or you're just exhausted. You don't want to think anymore, and your extremities get all the blood flow. Your digestive organs they're reduced from blood flow, so there's going to be just some unhappiness in the digestion area. Increased blood pressure, faster heart rate, sweating, rapid breathing. Your muscles do get affected. The skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, which would be organs. The central nervous system is definitely affected. So, long story short, I put some changes back into my routine, and I think last week was just how do I describe it? Just bumbling through, plodding through. And now this week I feel relieved that I kind of nipped it in the bud at the appropriate time. And I know you may be in the same boat. So if you're interested in the Brain First Always Protocol, BFA, and you want to talk about how are you dealing with your stresses at the 4 functional levels of the nervous system, let me know. And let's start a coaching relationship. Also, look at the blog, look at the past videos, and on the Sense Tele-Health infomercials, I give you some ideas to think through, questions to ask yourself to help you get ready for a coaching session. I call it an icebreaker, and you can plan where you want to focus your attention on. Where do you want to make these improvements, and how to focus the direction you want to take your coaching sessions into. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Share with your friends the video. Look for my new ebook on Kindle. It's called What Side of Stubborn? Why Do No Harm Means Undoing Decades of Harm. For the price of a newspaper, you can read a little bit of my story. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.